Hi, welcome to another stream. Today I'm gonna continue with dyeing silk. I'll do a bit some more tests, and then hopefully I will actually dye the main volume of silk, the entire thing. Get it ready for further stuff. Further processing, maybe. And with the writing practice, first of all, I should mark this, clock in. Okay, for the writing practice, I want to test something. Because yesterday I was talking about this writing, this nib writing a bit differently than other nibs that I was trying out. So that's how it writes straight on. It can also write with the side like this. So yeah, the thing I'm not sure about is the amount of flow in here. It seems quite big compared to other nibs. Compared to the ones, well, two nibs I tried at the home. At home. So this is the other one. And let's see what's the difference. First straight on. I feel like this line is more continuous. And also it doesn't really write with the edge, with the side of the nib. So I guess this is how it's supposed to work. I tried two nibs at home, and both of them were behaving pretty much the same as this one. Okay, so I guess change of pens. I will use this one from now on. And let's see, the previous page was 45. This will be 46. And the usual practice. the 2 lines of ovals. The lines do seem quite consistent. They are consistent, of course, assuming I apply correct pressure, which I don't always do. That's enough of those ovals. Now normal writing. Maybe I'm going a bit too high with the letters, about making them a bit shorter. And so enough on this page. And sets of 6 ovals on the other side. Hello, East Side. Everything alright? I haven't seen you in here in a while. Couple of days. How is life? Reasonably good. Though I do feel kind of out of energy for quite a while now. I don't know, maybe it's because of the season, because it's cold in here, and I don't have the desire to sit in here, to go outside, to like go through the yard and the cold air, to come in here and everything. So I don't know, maybe when the spring comes it will be different. But maybe it's also kind of psychological. I was out of town a few days, sorry. You don't have to be sorry. I was just worried that like maybe there was some reason, I don't know, something happened to you or to the family or something. Because it is quite unusual that you are absent. And a donation from someone. Thank you, someone. I'm very grateful for the donation. Someone exclamation mark. Yeah, that nib definitely writes a bit better. I'm sometimes still putting a bit too much pressure. And there are spots of a bit heavier line thickness. And also my grip is going too low. Oh, I know, I killed my streak now too. Yeah, that's also something I was worried about. I'm sorry. And what was that last time? Like 7 days ago, 70-day streak. That's quite a lot. That's like 2 months. I expect that there are probably some streak renewing bots. I myself in the past once set up the bot for claiming the channel points on one channel, because I was working towards a certain channel point redeem, and when I finally, with the help of that bot, it was a script on Raspberry Pi and at my house, and when I finally gathered enough points, the streamer got rid of the channel redeem. So it was kind of pointless. Okay, that's enough of this page. And now the last exercise. This will be 47. I can lower the speed to 160. Family is fine, they are a mess, but fine. I had the 186 on my other stream that Twitch seemed to have just gotten rid of for no reason. And are you sure you were on all of these streams of that streamer? Like maybe they made some super short stream out of usual streaming hours or something? Because if it was just like Twitch actually getting rid of your streak, that's rough. Oh, I made it worse. I think I will get rid of this sheet. Oh, this was 47. Okay, and I want a couple of ovals and letter A's. Or letters A. That seems like a more reasonable way to pluralize this. That was quite a nice A. Fairly nice. Like there is this additional line, very faint line that shouldn't be there. But other than that, fairly nice form. I didn't miss any I know about. Just build it up again. Like yesterday, we were talking with Atom about Duolingo, and the only reason I'm using Duolingo is because of the days like 1500 over 1500 streak. And if I lost that, I would just give up on the app. I don't think I'm getting much value out of it. and the only reason I'm continuing to use it is because of the big number. And also at starting soon. And the other page. Couple more lines. Couple more lines and and then I can continue with dyeing the silk. So yesterday I was trying different concentrations of 2 dyes that I bought, and today I wanted to try out mixing them. First, I intend to mix them half and half, and then maybe some different combinations. I also don't know about different concentrations. Maybe if they are mixed, then they can have lower concentration. I would like to dye the main volume of the fabric today though. So I would like to make the decision today. That's the last line. And that's enough. Okay, those two pens can go in here. This maybe can stay here. And this. Then the camera in here. That's I didn't plan. Okay, the title. This is done. Start the next project. The next task on the list. And this. So, same as yesterday. This was the effects of work yesterday. This is with 5 milliliters, a bit darker, darker brown with a bit of purple. This is with the same dye with 2 milliliters, and this is with the other dye. This is very red, and this is 7 milliliters. So now I want to mix them and see what will be the result of mixing them. If it will be like more what I envisioned. I doubt though. Okay, 1 liter. One liter of water, 50 milliliters of vinegar, and now I have to bring it to simmering. So some waiting. And then I said I wanted 5 or 3 milliliters, 3 milliliters of each of those dyes, so that would come up to 6 milliliters of dye. And I also have to cut the strip of fabric, another one. I will soon run out of the entire fabric with tests like that. What is that? Like 24 centimeters. I guess it's not wasted, but used up. 24 centimeters used up. I want some container. Some container with some water. I will use this to clean this this measuring thingy. Okay, the fans I can turn off and then turn on the AC. because the temperature is a bit too low. I'm thinking about this thing, and maybe I should do something like do a section like current project or something like that. Plan for today, and maybe below that the current project, currently working on or something like that, and below next project. Or maybe I could add currently working on somewhere else on the screen. Like maybe, okay, I can't in two directions. Maybe along the top in here, or along the bottom. Because I feel like maybe it will be too much to add something in here. It would just like continue to expand until it would take the entire this part of the screen. It would be nice to do it at home on the induction stove. This is so slow. It is at least heating up. I do technically have an electric kettle, so that would be faster, I think. Although I'm not entirely sure if it works. And also the state of it in terms of being clean, all of the lime scale and stuff. And probably also dust. I wonder if they sell more powerful electric hot plates like that. This is 1 kilowatt. yesterday I think I was calculating that the maximum allowed power, 230 times 16, it would be over 3 kilowatts. So 1 kilowatt is well within the limit. 2 kilowatts would be fine even. Almost. The smell of vinegar is quite intense, even though it's just 5%. Getting really close. Okay, really close it would be on the stove on my at my house, and here everything is really stretched over time. and the heater in here turned off, because it of course considers the temperature of the plate itself, not the water in the pot. And that's why when I was at the university and I had another one of those, I had to use a hairdryer to blow the air over the thermostat, because it just couldn't bring the water in the pot up to boiling. Still not ready. It was such a ridiculous setup with this other plate. Like it was in the middle of the room on some kind of stool, I think, if I remember correctly. And on top of that stool, I had a particle board, like a shelf from some kind of wardrobe or some other cupboard. A piece of particle board, and on one side there was this hot plate, and a pot with water on top of it, and on the other side I had a hair dryer cooling off the thermostat. Okay, maybe that's already simmering. Yeah, I would consider that simmering. So let's put in the dye. That was one color. Three milliliters of one color, now the other one. Mix it a bit and bring the fabric. Now I will use the lid because this hot plate has so little power that it's very slow to bring simmering water up to boiling, and I'm supposed to bring it up to boiling. Starting soon. I wonder what color will this end up being. Now it's boiling. And now the instructions say that I'm supposed to stir it and keep it boiling for 5 minutes. And yesterday I was just keeping it like that until it absorbed all of the, or at least most of the dye from the water. And I'm not sure, now I'm thinking about it, and I'm not sure if that is the intention. Maybe I'm not supposed to keep it boiling until it absorbs all the water. I wonder. So let's assume it's been boiling for about a minute, maybe, or maybe 2 minutes. So 5 minutes would be 3:56. I wonder how will the water look like by then. And how is fabric looking now? It is quite red. It would be nice to have something a bit less red. But maybe red is also not that bad. It's turning kind of burgundy. And it's 3:56, so now it will be 5 minutes. I guess it is fairly clear, the water is fairly clear now. So maybe the intention actually is for the fabric to absorb all of the dye. So yeah, I would consider this ready. Now the next step is to turn off the heat. Turn off the heat and let it cool down to about 60 degrees. So for that purpose, I will bring it over here to the temperature probe. I have to go around the entire workbench. Okay, and here, and the temperature probe goes inside. And now I should be able to monitor the temperature in Home Assistant again. And while doing that, maybe I could look for some piece of that fabric, that velvet fabric. Okay, so here I have this entire project. And in here I should have some scraps. This is quite big. Some scraps and also the remaining fabric. Okay, this should be fine. I can use this for matching the color. Well, matching the color, for choosing the color. Okay, this can go back here. And this. Now I have this piece of fabric. And let's see how it would fit with those. This is the 5 milliliters of this darker dye. I don't know. This I definitely wouldn't use. This is much too bright. And the color, I also don't like the color itself. Just this fabric by itself, and I feel like it also doesn't really go well with that fabric. And this is much too light. So yeah, it would, I think, either be this one or the mixture of two of those. How is the temperature now? New reading should be ready any second. Okay, now it's at 81 degrees, and it's supposed to be at around 60. So still quite a while. Sadly, this is not a super exciting activity. There is a lot of waiting involved. Okay, so what are the other options? Maybe I could get this red color a bit darker with slight addition of the darker color, the darker brown. Because by the way, they are both supposed to be brown, and neither of them looks super brown. Like this kind of looks brown, but goes more into purple, I think. I could also try still even higher concentration. This was 5 milliliters. Maybe I could try maybe even up to 10. Although at this point, how white is that? Because I think the amount of dye should be proportional to the area of the fabric. This, I would say it's about 5 centimeters. So if I want to dye 5 meters or 2 meters, well, after all of the cutting off, let's say it would be meter and a half. A meter and a half would be like 5 centimeters is 1/30. Yeah, so I would need 30 times more, and this is not 30 times more. So yeah, I wouldn't have enough dye in here for that high of a concentration. This was 5, so 5 times 30. Well, 5 milliliters for 5 centimeters. So this is 150, and this is still too little. Still not enough. This is 125, and I already used a bit. How's the temperature? 75. I could always dye a smaller piece than the entire fabric that I have. I don't know, maybe just this color by itself wouldn't be that horrible. $72. 71. How is it looking now? It is quite red. How would you even limit amount of red with dyes? Because you know, dyes work the opposite way to light, to like RGB mixing. And I think it's a bit harder to think about, like how to mix dyes and how to mix paints and all of the other kind of subtractive coloring stuff. At least I find it fairly difficult. And it's a bit easier to wrap my head around judging the color from RGB values. And then what is the other scale? CMYK? Okay, now it's at 66. So let's get that out, put it back here. And then I'm supposed to rinse it in cold water, but I don't have any running water in here, so I will just put it into this pot over here, on this one, with fairly cold water. Now I'm just getting out the excess of water. And I can put the fabric in here, on this drying rack. Let's dump the water into the sink. Fairly orange water. Fairly orange water, but when I'm pouring that out, it gets kind of a greenish tint. With a, you know, like a very small layer, thin layer. Okay, now I want to speed up the drying in here. And get the ironing board ready. I'm supposed to iron it when it's still damp. Maybe that's enough. So now I can plug in the iron. Get the camera over here. And iron this a bit. Yeah, this is quite a bit, this goes quite a bit into burgundy, but maybe it wouldn't be that bad. I think it is a better color than this one. It's more brown. And it's like the dyes are supposed to be brown. Were supposed to be brown. According to the category, at least. And to the preview image. Okay, so that was half and half, 3 and 3. Let's get the pen in here. Three and 3. Also, the water in here. I can already start to boil the next batch of water. And some vinegar. Okay, so this is cooking. Now let's mark this fabric. This would be 3 plus 3. Three plus 3 milliliters. And then I would also like to try the different combinations, like less of that reddish dye, more of that purplish dye, and the other way around. See how that would work. But as it is now, this is this last fabric. As I said, I definitely don't want 2 of those. Which one would be better? This one. This is pure darker dye, and this is mixture of 2. I'm not entirely sure. I would like something that would be purely brown, without any hints of other colors, any purple, any red, or anything like that. I was saying that this new one is probably the better color, but now I'm not entirely sure. I think that maybe I would actually prefer the previous one. This goes a bit too much into the red. How does it look with the light? At least from the phone. I don't know. I would like something lighter like this one, but without the red tint. I don't really like either of them that much. But yeah, now I would like to try maybe 5 milliliters of this darker dye, as with this one. Actually, maybe not 5 milliliters, because I said I would like something lighter, so maybe 4 milliliters of this one, or even 3 milliliters. 3 milliliters of this one, and then 1 milliliter of this reddish one. Now I'm not sure which one is which. Okay, this is the darker one. Three. And I could also change the water in here. My sink is leaking a bit, so some of that water goes onto the floor. Soon I will run out of the dyes just for the tests. Can I see the level with the flashlight? Okay, kind of. Maybe it's not that bad yet. So this is supposedly 125. I used up how much? This was 2, this is 5, so 7, and this is 3, so I used 10 milliliters. And this is 3, 13 milliliters. Because for the main dyeing, I think I will just dump entire bottle. Now I look a bit more on those fabrics and I'm not so sure. Maybe maybe this second one wouldn't be that bad. As I said, I still don't really like either one that much. But if I had to choose, maybe I would go for this one. Is it simmering? It's not simmering yet. Are there any local options for silk dyes? There are some. I'm not sure if I would find a color that I want. Purple. Okay, there is definitely nothing in here. Blue navy, pink, green. There is nothing brown. How about just here? Barwnik do jedwabiu. Those, yeah, there are some offers in here on one of the stores, and I think colors in here are quite misleading because yeah, this is black and it looks black in here, but this, okay, now the picture changed. How do I change it back? Okay, here. This is supposedly silver gray and this looks brown. And this is brown and looks more kind of yellow. Okay, is it simmering? Not simmering yet. from those colors in here, I think I would like chestnut. Is it one of the offers? This is chestnut, and it looks red. And also it's out of stock. Is it simmering now? Okay, I would say now it is simmering. It's simmering, so 3 milliliters of this dye. And then I was saying 1 milliliter, I think, of the other one. This is the first one. And this is the second, and of course I forgot to cut the fabric. This is this reddish one. Cut the fabric. Into the water, because it's supposed to be damp. And now I can put it in here. Close the lid and wait until it starts boiling. So yeah, that was 3 and 1. I will have to remember that for at least a while, a short while. I wonder how that will end up looking. So far, not too horrible. Okay, I was looking at the dice. Yeah, this is also not available, not available. Back to the first page. Okay, now it's boiling. It doesn't want to load. Silver gray, and this is supposedly brown. I don't think there are any better options for dice, and also it would take quite a bit of time. It would take quite a bit of time to order another die, because now it's gonna be weekend. So I probably wouldn't receive another die until Tuesday. So yeah, that was one, and that was 1, 3, and 1. Both of them, let's say it would be dark and light. Dark was 125, 125. And then I used up 2, 5, 3, and 3 again. And in here I used up, this was 7, and now 1. We'll see what will be the total. Okay, this is pretty much done. So turn off heating. Turn off heating and bring it to the temperature probe. Okay, that's done. That's done. And in here, I'm assuming all of that is for 5 centimeters each. This would be 123, 118, 115, and 112. And in here 118 again, and 117. So if I want to keep the same proportions, like same concentration for the amount of fabric, I should probably assume that I want to dump the entire bottle of either one of them, or probably the mixture. And how much would that be able to cover? I don't think it would be able to cover the entire piece. How is the temperature? 79. I have a lot of spikes now in here. Okay, now it's 88. Looks like the temperature probe itself didn't get up to temperature yet. This process involves so much waiting. It starts in 40 seconds. Is it properly attached now? It's not. $83. How does it look now? I also don't know if the differences in color are not due to some kind of reaction with the pots themselves. This is stainless steel, so I would assume it shouldn't have that much of an effect. But maybe it does. Or maybe it's a problem with those tongs. But more likely it's just the dies themselves. Now the temperature is at 78. You can see that the CA glue on my fingernail is quite shiny. I had to glue my fingernail because the crack was going to be too deep. Because this fingernail that has a crack going into the fingernail, like along the finger. Maybe someday I should finally do something with it. Try to do something with it. But I'm quite worried that if I went to a doctor with that problem, they would just remove the fingernail entirely, and it would have to regrow, and then I'm worried that they wouldn't be symmetrical, that like one would end up shorter or longer, or like a different angle and everything, or anything else, and then it would annoy me. Because it is actually the case with the fingernails on my feet. Like I broke a big finger. Like, how is that called? You know, the big toe on my right foot. Yeah, it was right foot, and then the fingernail came off, and it does look different than the other one. Like the proportions are different. Oh, it's 45 already? Oh, it's not submerged. That makes sense. The reading is every minute. Now it's 30 seconds. Okay, it says that the last reading was a couple of seconds ago, but it says it's 41. It's definitely not 41. Maybe it registered, like it sends the previous reading? I don't actually remember how I programmed it. Let's wait another 30 seconds. Maybe it will rise again. Okay, it's 69 now. Maybe 2 or 3 minutes and it should be ready. Okay, I'm just tired of waiting. I would say it's ready. Hello, Atom. Yeah, Breaking Bad. the colors are bad. I'm not really satisfied with any color, with anything so far. Okay, this can go on the drying rack after a bit of straightening. And let's dump this water. And put the cable up here so that I don't trip over it constantly. Then I can put another batch of water in here, because I will definitely want to do it one more time. It's the first round of trials. You will get there. Don't worry. I stop it from failing. I don't think I will get there, because it's not really entirely up to my my skills or anything, because there is only so much color that I can achieve with 2 of those dyes. Like they won't produce any kind of possible color, and I don't think they are able to produce the color I would be satisfied with. Okay, that's enough. Just sharing. I saw a person that used wax to cover a design. They then dyed the clothers, then boiled the wax. I'm not sure if I understand. Like they put dye on the wax, wax to cover a design. Dye the clothes, then boil off the wax. And the wax prevents the dye from attaching to cloth. Then in boiling water, wax unbinds from cloth. I'm still not entirely sure if I understand. Okay, now some ironing. So are they covering, putting the dye on wax? Prevents from attaching to cloth. And I also don't know, when you say design, what kind of design? Like some kind of painting made out of dyes? Or the cloth itself? Design is a pretty vague word. Okay, so that was 3 of the dark one, dark dye. Three. Plus 1. And that one was red. And how does it compare? Let's see. This was half and half. This is pure dark. This is pure dark, 5 milliliters. This is 3 and 1. And this is 3 and 3. I think I will try to go the other way. So 3 red and 1 dark. We'll see how that will look like. Because yeah, right now I'm not really satisfied with any of them. They all look not purely brown. I would like something that's purely brown. And fairly light brown. And these are all dark browns. Dark browns with other tints. Either purple or red. Okay, so I was saying I want this lighter dye, 3 milliliters of the lighter one. And then 1 milliliter of the dark one. Say you have a t-shirt, you draw a circle on the t-shirt, you use some tool like a pen to apply the wax only on the area of the circle. So the dye is already on the cloth. Apply the wax on top of the dye. Now you dip t-shirt into... No. Draw a circle. Use some to apply the wax only in the area. What do you mean by draw a circle? Like a pen to apply... Like draw a circle with wax? Okay, with wax. So you mean that the dye covers only the area that's not covered with wax, and then you remove the wax, and the fabric under the wax is not painted, not dyed. So yeah, kind of like various acid bath, like when you're making homemade PCBs, for example, you're masking stuff so that the acid doesn't get to it, or with this kind of what is the name of technology that's used in like copying blueprints? You know, there is this blue stuff, this blue substance, and you have some kind of mask, and you shine light on it, and the light turns the lines blue only in the places when. Only in the places that were not covered, that were not masks, not masked. It's like those eggs, Fabergé eggs. That's how they are made? I didn't know that. Lithography, you're right. I think that's it. I don't really know much about Fabergé eggs other than what they look like. Like I only heard about Fabergé eggs on like when I was a kid on TV, and it was just oh, this fancy egg that's fancy and expensive, and that's everything I know about them. So yeah, in here, from the lighter one, I would reduce 3 milliliters. This would go down to 115, and one in here, 111. In making Fabergé egg, and the pattern is painted using wax, then the eggshell is dyed, then the wax carefully removed with the heat. Interesting. Maybe I could try to make something like that someday. Yeah, I will even add that to the list of potential projects. It would be I try to make a Fabergé egg. Someday maybe it will be another project. It might be a cool application of your cursive. I don't know if it would be completely applicable. If I would be able to write something on that on a curved surface. Write in cursive using wax on flat fabric. I would have to somehow attach the fabric to the, I guess, to the table, because it's really hard to write on fabric. It constantly moves under the pen. And also, the wax would have to be very, very thin. Wax would have to be extremely thin, because otherwise it wouldn't flow pretty much at all under my hands, under like any sort of tool I would use. Because, you know, as I said multiple times, the motion in writing has to be quick. Otherwise the lines are shaky. You know, it's jittery. If you want a nice, smooth line, you have to move your hand fast. And if you move your hand fast, then I would be worried that the flow of the wax wouldn't be fast enough, wouldn't keep up. The egg idea is easier since the shells are everywhere. Also, you can grind the eggshell into a fine powder. What for? Which means you can mix glue with it and apply it. Apply to it something and then dye the fine shell powder. Wait, what? Which means you can mix glue with it and then apply it to something and then dye the fine shell powder. I don't think it would work the same as solid shell. I'm pretty sure grinding an eggshell into a fine powder would modify how it absorbs the dye, and also the presence of glue. Probably starting soon. I expect that it wouldn't really work. Now the darker dye. One milliliter of that. And I forgot to cut the fabric again, of course. First the water, the clear water, fairly pure, and then into deep dye bath. Okay, maybe worth a test. Today I have to use my pill making kit. Pill making kit. I need to split pills for my relative. Like split normal pills in half or something. That's a pill making kit. I would guess that you need some that sharp edge or something. Relative, when I split the pill, it completely breaks into a powder, so I have to weigh the milligram scale and put the amount I desired into a capsule. Really? That sounds like a very weak pill. Completely breaks into a powder. That seems very red again. This was 3 and 3, 1 and 3 and 1, 5. So yeah, so far I think half and half would be the best option, maybe. But I still don't really like the other hues in this fabric. It's not purely brown. It has that both a bit of red and a bit of purple. I would prefer to get rid of both of them. I bought 7 different pills, split devices, and knit powders for all of them. Are the pills, like the original pills, very soft? How about cutting them? like actually cutting, not splitting, you know, with the sewing action. I guess that would you would lose a bit of material. The pill is a tablet. Press into a tablet under pressure. Yeah, that's what I imagine when I think about a pill. I tried gently sliding it with X-Acto knife, and I assume it didn't work. Slicing with X-Acto knife. Also failed. And yeah, I know what X-Acto knife is. Like, I actually sometimes use the phrase X-Acto knife, even though mine is not made by X-Acto. It's Olfa. Oh, I don't know if it called out outside of the USA. Like, we say vacuum, but the world says Hoover. Hoover? Like, for a vacuum cleaner? I guess I heard that, but I wouldn't think it's very common. I think most of the like in most of the countries, I guess in UK it's probably Hoover, but I think in most of the countries people would probably use word vacuum. Like, when I think about the vacuuming, I think about vacuuming, not hoovering. And yeah, leggings, I wouldn't say pantyhose, I would say leggings. In most countries that are not natively speaking English, people learn usually American English, because like the main learning resources are like various TV shows, movies, and also YouTube videos, and most of them are from USA. Just because of size of USA. There are like more people in USA than in UK, so obviously they produce more content. It's how things are branded. This is very purple. Extremely purple. I think it's more purple than this purple stuff. And this was the opposite ratio. 3 red and 1 dark. When you sell your shirts, don't call them shirts, call them gunrunners. I don't think I would like to call them like that. It would be extremely awkward, extremely embarrassing. Also, I wouldn't sell shirts. Like, we were talking about this some fairly long time ago, that if I were to sell merch someday, it definitely wouldn't be something like shirts or anything like that. I would probably go for things like furniture wax. Channel branded furniture wax. Okay, I think that's enough. So turn off the heating and bring it over to the temperature probe. Yeah, I wouldn't sell shirts because I wouldn't feel comfortable with selling something that would be garbage. And I'm confident that all of the shirts I would possibly be able to sell would be garbage. So I would prefer to sell something that's more like eco-friendly, I guess, because it's stuff like furniture wax prolongs the life of furniture, and it produces less waste because of that. Okay, how is the temperature? Probably something like 80 degrees. Exactly 80 degrees. Now it's 89. It's quite convenient that I didn't actually attach this temperature probe to the radiator, because like now I can put it into the pot. And yeah, on Tuesday I was cleaning in here a bit, like only this part on this side. Like over here there is still a lot of trash. But yeah, I was cleaning also this here, like around the window, and I found the tape. Like the tape was just over here the entire time. The Captain tape. $85 degrees. sometimes people attempt to be funny and use words like bookshelves. You cannot call your furniture box. And what? You can call your furniture box? No, thank you. I definitely wouldn't want to call it like that. And I definitely also wouldn't want to call it earwax or something. I guess it would be more fitting name, but no. That's normal. That's a workshop, and that's how you find things when you're not looking for it. Yeah, that's how you find things when cleaning. It's good to clean clean the workshop or any kind of place sometimes. Then you can finally find stuff. And it would be the best to have this place always clean, but for that I need much more storage. Every single item has to have its own dedicated space. Otherwise, I will never be able to keep this place clean, because like those items that don't have their own dedicated spot are the problem. I just putting them in one place, and then when I need one surface, and then when I need that surface, I'm putting them somewhere else, and they are just like wandering around and taking up space. It's so cool in Miami FO, and that's decoded turning on the hibernation of iguanas. Yeah, I know what iguanas are, that they are a reptile. Literally raining iguanas. They are falling from trees. It reminds me of drop bears from Australia. I guess in Miami there are drop lizards, but they are actually real. Okay, what's the temperature now? It's 75. And looks like it's still absorbing a bit of the dye. Tiny bit. Miami is a hot region, but we had a winter storm in the USA, and Miami got some of it. Like in here, it's constantly raining recently. In pretty much the entire month now at this point, it's been raining, and the temperature is below zero. So it's raining, and then it's constantly, it's instantly freezing, and it's creating a lot of frozen water on all of the surfaces, on the sidewalks, and at least recently on the last rain, it was, I guess, fairly cold, colder than usual, and it created this kind of rough surface. Like it was it was freezing so fast that that the surface of ice, well, is very rough, and it's actually quite difficult to trip on the ice, because earlier it was super ultra smooth. Couple days ago, less than a week ago, it was so slippery that every time I was walking to the workshop, and from the workshop I was I was almost tripping, almost falling a couple of times in just about 20 meters. (73°). And I couldn't imagine bringing all of those pots and other stuff in here with the path like that. So looks like it was quite lucky that it rained like that and created this rough surface, gritty surface. I feel like the iguana cold makes me sleepy and slow. Yeah, I feel like I don't want to do anything the entire winter. I was saying multiple times at this point that I want to just hibernate like bears. And just sleep the entire winter. It would be so nice. And it would be nice to also sleep maybe the entire spring, and then summer and fall. Like just wake up couple times a year. (71°). Yeah, it is very purple. This definitely won't be a good color. So yeah, I feel very slow and sleepy also, out of energy completely. And I was saying that that maybe partially that probably partially it's because of the time of the year and the fact that it's cold everywhere. But maybe partially it's also like psychological. I was daydreaming about turning my roof into a fiberglass bottom of a boat. But that might actually protect from leaks. Sandbags the fiberglass. Maybe we are cold-blooded. We are cooking dye now, yeah, for quite some time at this point. Probably like 2 hours, maybe over 2 hours. And yeah, it's very, very slow activity. 68, I would say that's enough. So back in here. Yeah, I already said today that maybe it's partially psychological, and I never like expanded my thought. I think it's partially psychological because like I don't feel like doing anything in here, like coming in here to the workshop and doing all the streaming and stuff. And maybe that's psychological because I have a feeling that I'm not really making any progress. in terms of viewership and anything like that. And then because of that, because I feel so out of energy, so like so slow and not motivated to do anything, I'm not actively working towards like achieving some progress. So I feel out of energy because I'm not seeing any progress, and I'm not working towards any progress because I'm out of energy. I'm out of motivation. I think that's not very good. Not a perfect situation. Breaking Bad, Gatherons, Dice Silk. This topic will get more viewers. Yeah, it definitely feels a bit depressing, like everything is kind of pointless. Doing anything in here is kind of pointless. Because like there are barely any people in here, and then I'm not bringing any more people. I'm not working towards bringing any more people because I feel out of desire for doing anything. But today I plan at least to do some progress on the stuff I've been doing. Do some progress towards progressing. Okay, now this goes into the sink. Like, I have to finally finish the script. I have the script for the video about those spats. I have the script partially written, like probably half of it, and then I have like the outline for the rest. And I was planning on finishing it last week on Wednesday, and then I was doing something else on Wednesday, and then I didn't really touch it on any following days. And then I was planning to do this to finish the script this Wednesday, and I also didn't touch the document at all at starting soon. And then I was planning to work a bit on it today in the morning, and then I was just watching stuff. I also didn't make any progress. So I intended to do it today in the morning, and I failed. But still, I still intend to work a bit on the script today after the stream. You need a vacation? I can't afford a vacation. I can't afford anything. And also, I don't think vacation would change that much. Period of rest to recharge, like Minecraft. Lifting weights? No. or handwriting. I think that, ads are in progress. Yeah, I definitely think that ads are in progress. Maybe that's enough. So yeah, I don't think taking vacation would actually change much. I think I definitely wouldn't do anything like lifting weights or something. If I took vacation, then it would just be watching some stupid TV shows. Watching whatever looks at least mildly interesting. I just seem to love wasting my time like that. I see some random TV show, mostly anime, because it's like the most accessible in terms of like playing stuff, finding on the internet. So yeah, it's some super not very high quality show, and I'm watching one episode, and I'm thinking that it's a horrible show. It's so stupid. The story and the plot is completely pointless, and it doesn't make any sense. And then I press next episode, and then I binge the entire season or more. So yeah, if I took vacation, then I would just spend my entire time like that. And then I wouldn't want to go back. Wouldn't want to come back in here. I don't think it would fix my motivation. Okay, so looks like that's the worst one. Yeah, it looks almost pink. Something repetitive, but that does not ask the mind to process too much. Movie night stream. I don't know about that. I want to watch the new Count of Monte Cristo, but by PBS. Looks cool. This is stupid and pointless. Proceeds to press the next episode. Yeah, it's always like that. Like the TV show has to be like really super extremely bad for me to abandon the show. Usually, it's no matter how bad it is, I still press watch the next episode. And sometimes I stumble on shows that are not actually that bad, and then it's even worse. Okay, so I was saying that this is probably the best one so far, and maybe at all. This is the best option. So this was half and half. This is half and half. This is 3 red and 1 dark, and this is 3 dark and 1 red. This I think looks the most brown. And this was pure dark dye. Yeah, I think I will go with this one. Even though I don't love the color, I don't love the all of the hues in here. The fact that it's slightly red and slightly purple. But I think it's the best I can get. Yeah, it's like pink. Mr. Beast started by slipping his face. What does dark dye mean? Like, technically, both of them are brown, and neither looks very brown. Like this is one brown that I call red, and this is the other brown that I call dark. And this dark dye is like fairly brown with a very heavy purple tint, and this is extremely red. I wouldn't call this like remotely close to brown. So yeah, I think I would just go with half and half to both of the dyes. I don't think it's perfect, but I think it's the best I can do. How about in here, in this background? And with this lightning? If it looks too horrible, then I can always just replace the fabric in the future. Because this will be for the quilted parts, the collar, and then the cuffs. Where is the book? And here. So yeah, this fabric is supposed to go in here on the quilted collar and in here on the cuffs. And yeah, this was half and half. 3 and 3, and this I think it's about 5 centimeters. BRB, I will go see about the pill. Good luck. Okay, let's say it's more like 7, depending on the spot. But I would say it's fairly close to 5. So yeah, it's 5 5 and it was 6 milliliters for 5. And what is the statement here? I have 115 milliliters of the lighter dye and 111 of the darker one. That means okay, let's say 3, 5, 5 centimeters to 3 milliliters X and to like let's say 110. So times it would be 55 divided by 3, and that's how much? $550 by 3, 183. Okay, so this is more than enough. How much fabric do I have left? This looks like the edge I was cutting. And this is the factory edge. Okay, so this is 150. It would be 185. Looks like this is exactly enough. This is exactly enough. What a coincidence. Like both of those bottles will be roughly exactly enough for this entire remaining fabric. I will have to just get rid of 1 milliliter of this. That is now 110 and here is 115. So get rid of 5 milliliters. now the two bottles should be equal. Two bottles should be equal and should have the exact amount for dyeing the entire remaining fabric to this color. This not exactly perfect color, but apparently the best I can do. And do I want to dye it right now? Yeah, I guess I do. So this goes in here, and then I need more water, much more water. I think maybe even full 5 liters. Yeah, so I will bring more water in here and be right back. Okay, I'm back. I have 5 liters of water in here. Maybe I can bring the camera a bit higher. So yeah, 5 liters of water in here. Then I have to put some vinegar in here. So this is, I was using 50 milliliters. This is 5 times more. So 250. Does it have 250? No, I have to figure out between the marks. more. Okay, 250. And now I have to bring this to boil. To boiling. Bring this to boiling. And then I have to go again to bring some water in here. Oh, so yeah, I guess another be right back. I will leave the screen on so you can observe the water boiling. Okay, I'm back. So now we can observe the water boiling together. And then, according to my calculations, I'm supposed to dump both of those, like the entire contents of both of those bottles. It will be like 220 milliliters or 25 liters. So it's 0.22 divided by 5. It's 4%, and according to this, the concentration can be up to 15%. This will take a lot of time. At least it should, like the heat transfer should be fairly good because it's covering the entire surface of this plate, of the hot plate, and even going a bit over. It starts in 1 minute. I have to do all of the dyeing today and bring those pots over back to my house because today I didn't have any kind of any vessel to cook the dinner. Like those are my only 2 pots. And also, to be fair, I wasn't even using this one before yesterday and up until now. Dumping the entire content of this into the pot feels intense. Okay, just to be sure, the instructions say that I'm supposed to make dye bath composed of water, 1 to 5% white vinegar, and 0.5 to 15% of the color of the dye, depending on the desired intensity. Dye bath, water plus 5% vinegar, heat, and add the first simmer, add the dye, and all of the dyes, and mix. Then introduce your damp silk and bring it to boil while stirring. Distribute the dye well. Maintain boiling for 5 minutes, then turn off the heating source and wait until the dye bath reaches a temperature of around 60 degrees. Take out your silk and rinse it in cold water. This will definitely take a while, even longer while than before. I hope this won't be a longer stream. Yeah, because it's supposed to be damp silk. Let's put it in water in here. This cold water is super cold. Of course, I kicked the tripod. I don't need this water anymore. Now it's quite confusing because I don't know which one of those spots are the red dye and which are the blood. Like this is definitely blood. This is probably also blood. And the rest I think are the dye spots. So, because this is 5 times more water, it will probably be getting, it will be heating up 5 times longer. Maybe not exactly 5 times because it has a lower surface area, so the exchange with the environment is lower. So probably should be a bit quicker than 5 times more. But still, multiple times more. And I kicked the camera stand again. Of course I did. The timing in here is starting to become a bit of an issue quite a bit of an issue because I have like half an hour until the planned scheduled end of the stream, and I haven't even started dyeing. The dyeing process. And then I'm supposed to dye the fabric, wait for the water to reach to go down to about 60 degrees, and then put it in here on the drying rack, wait a bit until it dries a bit, and then iron the fabric when it's still damp. It will take a lot of time with this amount of fabric and this amount of water. I don't think I will manage to do it today. Yeah, I think it's pointless to do it. Because I expect that this would take like an hour or more than an hour even. Probably like hour and a half. So yeah, I will just end in here, and I will dye the like main fabric tomorrow. Now the problem is that I already put this fabric into the water. Should I leave it in the water? Can I leave it in water? I will assume that I shouldn't, so let's squeeze most of the water. Yeah, this was a bit too hasty. Squeeze most of the water, and I will spread this over the drying rack. And then it will wait for tomorrow. It looks very translucent when it's wet. So yeah, looks like that's it for today, because I definitely won't be able to do the next batch today, the like main batch. So I will have to leave that for tomorrow. And yeah, thank you for watching. See you tomorrow for for actual dyeing. For actual dyeing to this suboptimal color. Maybe it's kind of growing on me. Maybe it won't be that bad. Anyway, we'll see how the finished piece of garment looks like when it's done. So yeah, thank you. That's it for today. See you tomorrow. Thank you for watching, and bye.